This video is looking at a homework problem from chapter 13 in our project management textbook. So this example is example 8, which is also covered in the appendix to the textbook. But I've put all of the information from the problem into an Excel spreadsheet so we can look at how we would calculate these formulas in an Excel spreadsheet. So we have a project network, the baseline, and its current status information for the first 8 periods. We're going to finish the status reports for periods 1 through 8, complete the performance index table, and then calculate our estimated cost at completion and our value at completion. So we're going to start with period 1. In our status report at period 1, we are 25% complete at A. A has a time or cost of 100. So we are 25% complete, so the estimated value is 25% times 100, or 25. Our planned value at the end of period 1 for A is to be at 50. So we are currently at the end of period 1 over cost and behind schedule. In period 2, we are 50% for A. So A has a total of 100, 50% of 100 is 50. The planned value of A at the end of period 2 is 100. We are still over cost and over schedule. At the end of period 3, we are completely finished with A. So we have 100 of A finished at our value of 100. We ended up $100 over cost total for A. We have not started B or C. However, at the end of period 3, it was planned that we would be 100 into B and 150 into C. So we are over cost and behind schedule still on B and C. At status report 4, we are 60% complete of B and 50% complete of C. The total value of B is 250. So we would take 250 times 60% complete to get our estimated value of B. And we're 50% complete at C. Our total value of C is 450. So if we take 450 times 50%, we get our estimated value of 225 at C. Our planned value for B and C at the end of period 4. So for B, we should be at 150 at the end of period 4, and for C, we should be at 300. So 150 and 300. We are catching up some on our costs, but we are still behind on schedule with C. At the end of period 5, we are 100% complete with everything, A, B, and C. So remember that B was 250 and C was 450 at its total value. So at the end of period 5, we've caught up with our schedule and we've managed to recoup some of those cost overruns that we had from the previous 4 periods. When we move into period 6, we've started part D and we're 75% complete. The total amount for part D is 200. So we would take 200 times 75% complete. Our planned value for D at the end of period 6 is 100. So we're ahead of schedule at the end of period 6. At the end of period 7, we're 100% complete with D now that had 200. And we're 20% into E and 5% into F. So when we look at E and F, we see that E and F both have a total of $300. So we will take 300 times 20% our estimated value of E, and 300 times 5% to get our estimated value of F. Our planned value for E and F at the end of period 7 is not on here. So we started those early. We had no planned value in period 7. So being able to start, we're actually ahead of schedule, even though there are some cost overruns on E and F currently. We are ahead of schedule in its production. At the end of period 8, we've now completed 100% of E and 10% of F. So we'll take that 300 total times 10% to get our estimated value. At the end of period 8, our plan for E and F was 200 for E and 100 for F. So where we are on cost overrun and our schedule. We were ahead of schedule for E, but we're currently behind schedule on F. Now we're going to look at our performance index summary. So we're going to look at our schedule index, schedule performance index, cost performance index, and the percent complete index of budgeted costs. So the schedule performance index is the estimated value divided by the planned value. So our estimated value divided by planned value. And we would copy that amount down. The cost performance index is estimated value divided by actual cost. And we would carry that formula down. The percentage of completion value is the estimated value divided by our total. Our total for this project, we can see, is 2,000. So our estimated value divided by 2,000. We are then going to calculate the estimated cost at completion, or the forecasted total cost at completion. So the forecasted total cost at completion is our total minus our current estimated value divided by the value of the estimated value divided by cost plus the actual cost. So when we put that into numbers, we're going to put in 2,000, so that's our BIC, minus our estimated value of 1,330, and then we're going to divide that by our estimated value of 1,330 divided by our actual cost of 1,400. And then we're going to add all of that to 1,400. So the current amount, oh, I missed a zero. There we go. Our current amount is $2,105. Now we're going to look at how much we're going to go over. So what's our variance of actual cost? So that is our estimated cost minus our estimated or forecasted total cost of completion. So our BAC was 2,000 minus the EACF, which we just calculated. So this project is going to go over 105. Without zeros, that is a cost overrun of $105,000. Now we're going to look at part B of this example. So in part B, we've met with our project team and they've provided us with some revised estimates for the remainder of our project. So the revised estimate is that activity F will be completed at the end of period 12 at a total cost of $500. Activity G will be completed at the end of period 10 at a total cost of $150, and activity H will be completed at the end of period 14 at a total cost of $200. So when we look at our new projections with the cost that we've been given, our cost estimates, so $200 for H and $150 for G and $500 for F, we have our status report at the end of period 14. When we look at, then we want to estimate what the revised estimate is. So where we were currently at the end of 8. So our actual costs at end of period 8, this is when we made our revision, were $1,400. So $1,400 is our actual cost. Our new amount, new revised totals, we have up here our new revised totals add up to $850. At the end of period, we need to check and see if any of these costs have already been recorded at the end of period 8. So at the end of period 8, we had already recorded actual costs of $100 on F. So what we're going to add of our new costs are $750 because $100 of F costs are already in that $1,400. So our ETCRE, so our new revised total is $2,150. This also matches what our estimated costs were in the previous part based on the results we had at the end of period 8. So our revised estimates indicate that our project is going to be 1 month behind schedule and $150,000 over budget.